Good morning, my friends. Today I want to talk to you about something that every single person in this world has, yet only a few know how to use it wisely. That gift is time. From the richest person on this planet to the poorest, from the most educated to the least, every single one of us wakes up with 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary success and those who keep struggling all their lives is not luck, not family background, not even money. It is simply how they choose to spend their time. Time is the real currency of life, and if you learn how to invest it instead of wasting it, success will eventually follow you. My friends, think about it. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities missed can sometimes return, but time wasted is gone forever. Yet most people behave as if their time has no value. They spend hours scrolling through their phones, gossiping, or doing things that have no connection with their dreams. And then at the end of the day, they wonder why life feels stuck. On the other hand, those who value time treat every hour as a seed. They plant it carefully into learning, building, growing, and working towards their goals, knowing that one day it will give them a harvest far greater than they imagined. The truth is, success doesn't come from being busy. It comes from being productive. Many people confuse activity with progress. Just because you are running fast doesn't mean you are moving in the right direction. That is why wise people always pause, plan, and then act. They say no to distractions, they protect their focus, and they build discipline into their daily lives. Because discipline, my friends, is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without discipline, even the most talented person will waste his potential. With discipline, even an ordinary person can create an extraordinary life. You see, life will always offer you two choices every day: comfort or growth. Comfort feels good in the moment. You relax, you waste time, you enjoy temporary pleasures. Growth feels uncomfortable. You read when you feel lazy, you practice when you'd rather sleep, you work when others are resting. But in the long run, growth is what builds your future. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every habit you improve, these investments of time are what set you apart from the crowd. So, as we begin this journey of understanding how to spend time wisely for success, I want you to make a promise to yourself today. Promise that you will no longer waste your hours on meaningless things. Promise that you will respect your time the way you respect money. Promise that you will guard your focus, build discipline, and invest your hours into growth, not comfort. Because when you master your time, you master your life. And those who master their life eventually inspire the world. Time is more valuable than money because money is something that can be lost and earned back, but the time you waste can never return. Many people live their lives as if time is an unlimited resource, but the truth is every second that passes is gone forever. If you throw away $1 today, you can work tomorrow and earn it again. If you lose an investment, you may find another opportunity and rebuild your wealth. But when you waste 1 year of your life, when you waste even one precious hour, there is no way to buy it back. That is why the most successful people in the world treat their time as their most valuable asset. They know that their future depends not on how much money they have in their bank account right now, but on how they choose to spend their hours every single day. Think about it, my friends. A young person may believe they have plenty of time. They waste years thinking opportunities will always come, believing success will eventually arrive by itself. Then one day they wake up, and half of their youth is already gone. They realize they have not built skills, they have not built discipline, and they have not built a foundation for their future. On the other hand, someone else at the same age chose to respect their time, used it to learn, to grow, and to take small but consistent steps toward their goals. 10 years later, these two people are in completely different worlds. One is still stuck dreaming, and the other is living their dreams. The difference is not intelligence, not family, not resources. The difference is simply how they valued time. Money is often called wealth, but true wealth is measured in how much control you have over your time. A person earning millions but trapped in a life without time freedom is still poor in the real sense. A person who learns how to manage their time, who invests it into meaningful work, personal growth, health, and relationships, is rich even if they don't yet have all the money they want. Because in the long run, the wise use of time attracts success, and with success comes financial freedom as well. Time is the seed, money is the fruit. You cannot expect fruit without planting the seed first. Another thing to understand is that wasting money often teaches you a lesson, but wasting time usually teaches you regret. If you lose money in a business deal, you will learn how to manage better in the future. If you waste 3 years of your life doing nothing, you only wake up with regret and pain, realizing those years are gone forever. That regret cannot be fixed. That is why people who truly understand success put time above everything else. They ask themselves every morning, what is the best use of my hours today? They don't allow distractions, they don't let laziness take over, and they don't give their time cheaply to things that don't matter. Time is also more powerful than money because time builds money. Every hour you put into improving your skills, every moment you dedicate to creating value, every second you spend building strong habits, all of these compound over the years and eventually create wealth, opportunities, and freedom. But if you do the opposite, spend your hours in entertainment, in procrastination, in useless activities, you may save a little money now, but you will lose the greatest fortune of your life later. Successful people understand this compounding effect. They may not see the reward immediately, but they know that each disciplined hour is an investment into their future. You must also realize that people who respect time become respected themselves. Employers, friends, and even family begin to value someone who uses time wisely. Why? Because they know this person delivers results, respects commitments, and does not waste life. Compare that to someone who constantly delays, who never shows up on time, who spends hours without productivity. Eventually, people stop trusting them. Respect for time earns respect from others. Finally, remember that at the end of life, nobody asks how much money you made. People look at how you lived, what you created, and what impact you left. Your impact is not measured in money. It is measured in how you spent your time. Did you use your time to help others? Did you use it to become the best version of yourself? Did you use it to build something meaningful that will outlast you? Those are the questions that truly matter. So, my friends, never forget this: money lost can return, but time lost is gone forever. Value your hours more than gold, more than dollars, more than anything else in this world. Use every day wisely, because the way you spend your time is the way you are spending your life. And those who learn this secret early become unstoppable in their journey toward success. Focus on what truly matters is one of the greatest lessons for anyone who wants to build a successful and disciplined life. The problem with most people today is not that they are lazy, it is that they are distracted. They do many things, but none of them bring real results. They spend their energy on things that look important in the moment, but add no real value to their future. And then they wonder why, despite working hard, their life feels empty and their progress is slow. Success is never about doing more, it is about doing what matters most. You must learn to separate noise from the signal, distractions from priorities, and comfort from growth. If you don't, your time will slip away, and with it, every day, life will present you with countless options. Friends will call you for entertainment. Social media will demand your attention, people will drag you into gossip, and endless small tasks will steal your energy. If you do not decide what matters most for your life, the world will decide for you, and you will end up living by other people's priorities instead of your own. That is why discipline is not only about working hard, but about saying no. Success is built more by the things you refuse to do than the things you accept to do. Every yes you give to a distraction is a no to your future. And every no you give to distraction is a yes to your success. The greatest achievers in the world are not the ones who try to do everything. They are the ones who choose one or two things and dedicate their life to them. They know that divided focus produces divided results. If you chase two rabbits at the same time, you catch none. But if you focus on one with full energy, you succeed. This principle applies in business, in career, in relationships, and in personal growth. If you want to become truly great, you cannot afford to spread your time thinly. You must direct it like a laser beam toward what truly matters. But how do you identify what truly matters? Start by asking yourself, what activities bring me closer to my long-term goals? What habits make me stronger, smarter, and more disciplined? What actions build my future instead of just giving me pleasure in the present moment? Once you answer these questions honestly, the picture becomes clear. Reading a book matters more than endless scrolling. Building a skill matters more than wasting time in gossip. Exercising your body matters more than lying in bed all day. Spending time with people who inspire and challenge you matters more than sitting with those who only complain. Once you know your priorities, job is to protect them with all your energy. It is important to understand that what truly matters is often not urgent. Checking messages, responding to notifications, or doing small tasks may feel urgent, but they are not important in the bigger picture. On the other hand, learning, improving yourself, and building meaningful work do not feel urgent, but they are the most important. Successful people master the ability to focus on important things before they become urgent. They understand that preparation today avoids crisis tomorrow. Another key point is that focusing on what truly matters requires courage. It is easy to follow the crowd, easy to say yes to everything, to avoid disappointing others. But the truth is, you cannot please everyone and still succeed. You must learn to walk your own path, to prioritize your vision even when others don't understand. People may criticize you for not joining every party, not wasting time on entertainment, giving your hours freely. But one day, the results of your focus will silence every doubt. Success itself is the loudest voice, and it comes only to those who had the courage to focus when everyone else was distracted. If you want discipline, make it simple. Write down your top 3 priorities in life. Every day before you go to bed, ask yourself if your time went into those priorities. If it did, you are moving forward. It didn't, you are drifting away. Life is not about perfection, it is about direction. As long as you keep your eyes fixed on what truly matters, but if you keep losing focus, you will spend years moving in circles, busy but never fulfilled. At the end of the day, focus is not just about success, it is about peace of mind. When you focus on what matters, you stop carrying the weight of 100 meaningless tasks. You live with clarity, purpose, and strength. You know where your time is going, and you can feel the results building with every day. That peace, that discipline, and that sense of progress is worth more than all the distractions in the world. So my friends, if you truly want success, protect your focus. Learn to say no. Simplify your life. Direct your energy only to the things that matter most. Because in the end, greatness is not built by doing everything, it is built by doing the right things with full commitment. And those who learn this principle early will not just live busy lives, they will live meaningful, powerful, and successful lives. Discipline creates freedom because discipline is the structure that allows you to live life on your own terms. Many people misunderstand this concept. They think that discipline means restriction, punishment, or living without enjoyment. But the truth is the opposite, is what gives you control over your time, your habits, and your future. Without discipline, you are a prisoner of laziness, distraction, and regret. With discipline, you create habits that build strength, skills, and opportunities, and eventually give you the freedom to live the life you dream of. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom, it is the foundation of freedom. Think about it, my friends. When you wake up early, exercise, study, and work while others are still sleeping, it may feel difficult in the beginning. It may feel like you are sacrificing comfort. But what you are really doing is building a foundation for your future self. The discipline you practice today makes your tomorrow easier. On the other hand, when you avoid discipline, when you give in to laziness, when you delay your goals, it may feel comfortable in the moment, but you are actually stealing freedom from your future. You are creating a tomorrow full of stress, regret, and limitation. Discipline is difficult at first, but regret is far more painful. The most successful people in any field are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most disciplined. Talent without discipline fades quickly, but ordinary ability combined with discipline becomes extraordinary. A disciplined person does not need motivation every day because their habits carry them forward even when they don't feel like it. They don't wait for the perfect moment to act. They create the moment by being consistent. That consistency is the secret weapon that builds long-term success. Discipline also creates freedom by giving you control over your time. Without discipline, your time belongs to everyone else. Your distractions, your impulses, your laziness, and the demands of others. But with discipline, you decide where your hours go. You choose to invest them in learning, in building, in exercising, in creating something meaningful. Over time, this control compounds. The person who disciplines themselves today earns the freedom to travel, to spend time with family, to enjoy life without stress, because their earlier discipline created financial stability, health, and peace of mind. The one who avoids discipline finds themselves stuck, working harder than ever with no freedom, because they failed to prepare earlier. Consider the example of financial discipline. Someone who saves consistently, wisely, and avoids unnecessary spending may feel restricted at first. They cannot buy every luxury immediately. But later in life, that same person has the freedom to retire early, to travel, to enjoy life without debt or stress. On the other hand, someone without financial discipline enjoys pleasures in the short term, but later becomes trapped by loan, stress, and endless work. The same principle applies to health, education, career, and even relationships. Discipline today is freedom tomorrow. Lack of discipline today is prison tomorrow. It is important to realize that discipline is not about doing big things perfectly. It is about doing small things consistently. Waking up on time, exercising daily, spending an hour on learning, avoiding unnecessary distractions. These small disciplines compound into massive results. People who wait for inspiration waste years, while people who rely on discipline build progress brick by brick. Over time, those bricks turn into walls of strength and towers of success. Another truth is that discipline actually increases confidence. When you keep promises to yourself, when you stay consistent with your habits, you begin to trust yourself. You no longer feel like a victim of your emotions or circumstances. You know that no matter how you feel, you will do what needs to be done. That inner confidence creates freedom because it makes you unstoppable. You stop fearing challenges because you know your discipline will carry you through. At the end of the day, discipline is not about punishment. It is about respect. Respect for your time, your goals, and your future. People who lack discipline live in constant regret, saying, "I wish I had started earlier," or "if only I had worked harder." People with discipline may feel tired today, but tomorrow they say, "I am glad I did not quit." Which life do you want to live? One of regret or one of freedom? The answer lies in your daily discipline. So my friends, never fear discipline, embrace it. Build routines, stick to your commitments, protect your focus, and train yourself to do the hard things even when you don't feel like it. Because in the end, comfort gives you pleasure for a moment, but discipline gives you freedom for a lifetime. And true freedom is not doing whatever you want, whenever you want. It is having built a life where you can choose your path without fear, without regret, and without limits. Discipline is the bridge that takes you there. Investing time in growth and not comfort is the difference between people who live an average life and those who live an extraordinary one. Comfort is easy, tempting, and it feels good in the moment. Growth, on the other hand, is hard, uncomfortable, and often requires sacrifice. But the reality is that comfort gives you short-term pleasure, while growth gives you long-term success. The hours you invest in growth today may feel difficult, but they will shape your character, sharpen your skills, and prepare you for opportunities that others will never be ready for. If you always choose comfort, you will stay the same. If you choose growth, you will keep moving forward. My friends, think about how most people spend their time. They spend hours on entertainment, social media, gossip, or activities that add nothing to their future. At the end of the day, they feel tired, but they have nothing to show for it. This is the trap of comfort. Comfort fools you into believing that you are enjoying life, while in reality you are wasting the very resource that could build the life you dream of. On the other hand, when you dedicate even 1 hour to learning a new skill, reading a book, working on your goals, or practicing discipline, you may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but you are making progress that compounds with time. Growth is slow in the beginning, but its rewards are exponential. The most successful people in the world did not get there by chasing comfort. They got there by embracing discomfort and making it their teacher. Growth always happens outside of your comfort zone. When you push your body beyond what it feels capable of, you grow stronger. When you push your mind to learn something new, you grow smarter. When you push yourself to face challenges instead of avoiding them, you grow more confident. Every moment of discomfort is a seed for future strength. Comfort never builds you. It only keeps you where you are. Investing time in growth also means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, not just those who make you feel comfortable. Growth requires you to leave environments where everyone is satisfied with average and move into circles where excellence is demanded. This can feel uncomfortable because it forces you to confront your weaknesses. But that discomfort is the fire that shapes greatness. If you only stay with people who let you stay the same, you will never rise higher. It is also important to remember that growth often looks invisible at first. Reading for an hour a day, practicing a skill for a few minutes daily, working on your goals quietly. These actions don't show results immediately. Comfort activities like watching a movie or eating junk food give instant pleasure. But over time, the small investments in growth begin to compound. One day you look back and realize that your discipline, your skills, your habits, and your knowledge have transformed you into a completely different person. That is the reward of consistent growth. It feels slow while you are doing it, but in the long run, it makes you unstoppable. Comfort also creates a dangerous habit of procrastination. When you choose comfort repeatedly, your mind becomes addicted to avoiding effort. Every time you delay hard work, it becomes easier to delay again tomorrow. Eventually, you find yourself trapped in a cycle of, "I will start later," until years pass by and nothing changes. Growth breaks that cycle because growth demands action. It demands that you use your time for something meaningful, something that brings progress, something that builds the life you want. And the more you practice choosing growth over comfort, the stronger that habit becomes. Another truth about growth is that it prepares you for opportunities before they arrive. Most people wait for opportunities and then complain that they are not ready. But those who invest time in growth are always ready when the chance comes. They may not know when the door will open, but they are prepared to walk through it. That preparation comes from years of choosing growth over comfort, studying when they could have slept, practicing when they could have relaxed, working when they could have wasted time. When opportunity arrives, they are ready because their growth has prepared them. At the end of life, comfort leaves you with nothing but regret. You will remember all the hours wasted and all the dreams abandoned because you chose what was easy instead of what was meaningful. Growth, however, leaves you with a legacy. It builds a life that inspires others, a career that matters, and a heart that is strong and disciplined. Growth is not always fun in the moment, but it is always rewarding in the long run. So, my friends, the choice is always in front of you. You can invest your time in comfort and remain the same, or you can invest it in growth and transform your life. Every day is a test, every hour is a chance. Choose discomfort today so that you can live with freedom, strength, and success tomorrow. Because comfort only exists for the moment, but growth lives with you forever.